Hello and welcome to our first 5e D&D session of The Heart of Ruin, a Fire Emblem based game. How's everybody doing?
Groovy.
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Yeah, pretty good.
Could be worse. Cat's distracting me right now.
I'm
Oh,
good.
cats.
Such enthusiasm.
So, Heart of Ruin is a D&D 5 or 5th edition game that we've been running here for around 20 sessions now, playing in the background, gearing up until we got to a point in the story where we were finally comfortable to bringing it live, and luckily, that time finally came. There was a lot of heartaches and struggles in the process, but eventually, we got a little group out of the starting area of the campaign into where we are now. I'm Nightxgamer, if you don't know. Thank you guys for coming out to see this game as we get our first episode out. I'm gonna go ahead down the line and just do some small introductions. Starting with our cleric first.
Hi, I'm Annalise. I play a life cleric. Am I introducing my character or just myself?
Either or both.
Okay. Well, I play the life cleric. She is friendly, sometimes a bit too friendly. To describe her, she is very crazy, long blonde hair. Longer than mine, she wears heavy metal armor, carries a big old wooden staff that she
Embrace the
hand
night.
carved, and she's pretty nifty.
And very needed.
And very needed.
So, moving on next is our noble prince.
Oh, me. Okay, my name's Sarah, or in the chat, I'm Whirlwing, and I play Kane, who is a prince of Frelia, and he doesn't really get along with his family that well. He loves them very dearly, but they don't agree with a lot of the decisions he makes. And he tries very hard to relate to the rest of the party, but it's very difficult when you come from royal blood. So,
Oh, he definitely tries. And next to our stout but stern monk, or at least the first monk.
It's 2 months. Um, my name is Phoenix, and I play Vannon, a Laguz birdfolk monk from an elemental temple high in the mountains. And he's a well-traveled monk, fairly stoic and quiet, but prone to um, jesting with folks he gets comfortable with. Um, Vannon is a monk of the four elements, so he is exercising a minute amount of control over earth, air, fire, and water. And due to a recent loss, he's been very angry and emotional with the rest of the group, a little overcritical maybe, but that's because he lost basically his charge. He was bonded to a woman named Adriana as sort of a bodyguard companion, and for a moment thought she was dead. Now realizes that she's somewhere else, trapped with some sort of evil person or demon thing, and is determined to get her back.
By any
That's
means
me.
necessary.
Well, maybe not any means necessary.
No
but
private
definitely.
bathroom breaks. And then next, our eyesore.
No.
I wouldn't say that.
yeah, you're
He's
talking about, he's so cute.
He is a
Hi,
pretty
Alice.
charismatic for his race.
I jumped the gun. Hello, I'm Ellis. I'm playing a Goliath sorcerer called Scram. He's a giant puppy dog of a man. He's only 8.5 feet tall, but really doesn't want to hurt people, and is just really, really nice to everyone. Well, tries to be. until a prince gives him a nod and then he turns into a violent psychopath. But that's in the past.
A day ago in game.
Yeah. 7 intelligence. He don't remember things too well.
See how long that excuse runs.
The entire game.
Then last but not least,
Well, my name's Alan. I'm gonna be playing Sebastian. He's a very nice guy. Doesn't really like hurting people. And he's a little bit of a culture shock right now as he's been living in Grelia for almost all of his life. So let's see how that plays out.
hopefully for the better. And then, like I said before, I'm Nightxgamer, and I'll be your host and DM for this particular group for today. This game's going to be set to run every Wednesday at 10:35 a.m. CST, and will go on for about 3 to 4 hours. And excuse me for that. During that time, we're going to have every hour a 15-minute break to stand up, get ourselves situated for what we played through, and then continue on with the game afterwards. So, looking for this to go on for about 3.5 hours. Though I'm not too sure about today, since we did start late. That's up to you guys how long you want to play.
3 to 4 hours.
If that's still fine with you guys. If you want to still take the initial timers end off regularly.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, it should be good.
Alright, so you guys get to stick out with us for a while. So, we start up with our group as the camera zooms in past the clouds, as morning still seems to crest in the looming background, as it heads through the mountains of Frelia, zooming past different flying beasts among normal creatures of the area, before reaching the proud and noble city of Frelia, the capital of this area of the continent. As it moves through to get closer, the camera shows how the city looks to be in less than perfect condition, as you see buildings that have been crushed from some type of attack that happened really recently, and people looking to do their best that they can to repair what they see. There's buildings that seem to have almost like a god put his hand down it and just begin to crush it inwards. There's other buildings that seem to be completely destroyed. Remnants of fires in some places, but even through all this destruction, the people of Frelia seem to be goal-oriented and determined to get their city back to the former glory that it was. As we move past that, we get into the plains, going over cresting hills, through tall grass, as we catch up with a small group riding horses that seems to be heading to the east. Why don't we go ahead and go over everybody's character's description as the camera picks up with the movement of all of you leaving Frelia. Starting up with whoever's in the back.
I would assume it's Sebastian with his wheelbarrow.
He has a wheelbarrow?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh my gosh, we had a boat, now we have a wheelbarrow.
I think you're muted.
I am. Um, Sebastian he's a pretty tall man, average build. He's wearing ceremonials and he has this really messy hair. It's very disheveled. It's waving in the air, and you know, even though the party's been traveling for a while, he has an optimistic smile on his face, and he's carrying around a wheelbarrow.
What was in the wheelbarrow?
Nothing.
Weren't
Good
you on a
old
horse?
bag of nothing.
Hmm.
How are you on a horse with a wheelbarrow?
I'm carrying it.
This is okay. Yeah, no, great.
Yeah.
The horse doesn't seem very happy, but moving past him.
Uh, Annalise is probably closer to the rear of the group. Uh, like I said earlier, she has lighter blonde hair than even mine. Quite big and very unruly and kind of locked in little curls, and it's kind of fanning out behind her and kind of twisting as it's wont to do. She has silver. She has now full plate mail armor because I just upgraded that. Doesn't have any sort of extra gilding or anything. Just very, very plain underneath and very plain but well kept. Her horse is white. It has a couple brown specks near the rear, and she, at the moment, is just reading this tome that looks almost to be made out of like a gold cover, and she's kind of like looking at every once in a while, looking up, just kind of like taking in the surroundings, taking in the traveling, but mostly focused on just reading what she can.
And as the camera moves past her to the next person.
Probably Scram,
Okay.
somewhere in the middle. So there's a giant 8.5 foot tall muscle bound Goliath. Great sword strapped to his back, along with like a quarter staff that's about 6 foot long, and a really horrible looking book made out of like looked almost people leather, like dangling from his hip. But he's tall, tattooed, bald, and wearing a little wreath of purple flowers on his head.
I was wondering if you're going to keep that on.
Oh yeah. So we're going to Druidcraft keep that alive for the entire
Yeah.
game. It's gonna be great.
Next.
I imagine Vanon's like up and ahead,
Yeah,
so
he's flying.
Yeah.
You're probably scouting ahead, so Kane is a very tall man. He has long black hair that's pulled up into a high ponytail, and he wears half plate armor. It's a lot more embellished than typical armor, with a lot of filigree patterns and, bright enamel pieces. And he has a very solemn look on his face as he just looks ahead to where everyone's going.
And then as this small group is moving along each other, eventually a winged person flies back towards them. Go ahead and describe yourself, Vanon.
Vanon is a medium build, but more dexterous than strong monk. He's wearing a pale green monk outfit that represents the Temple of the Winds. He's got large wings that are white and like a dark brown or black striped, as a harpy eagle has. His head is shaved, and his arms are tattooed with some of the
Embrace
tattoos that he's
the
gotten.
night.
Basically, the stripes that he's earned from being a monk. So he flies overhead. He often doesn't wear shoes, so this is one of those times that he's not as well. He's happiest when he's flying, so there's probably a break in his stoic and somewhat angry demeanor that has been constant since they were in the city. Now that he's out flying, he's feeling a little better. So there's probably a little smile creeping up on his face as he lets everyone know he hasn't seen any danger yet.
So as the camera fully encompasses the group, it looks upon the horizon, and with it, the promise of a new day, as this is the start of our first session. As it moves back, we see the group currently, after give or take around 5 hours worth of traveling away from Frelia, as I forget which one of you had the map, but you take a moment of like short rest to reconvene and make sure you make your goals audibly known, as the camera picks back up with your small ring of horses, wheelbarrow, and wings as we open up the RP there.
Nikki, are you?
Nikki's either muted or
Dang it.
laggy.
Muted. Definitely muted. It's great roleplay too. Anyways, so I have the map here. We know we can't head towards Caracor and Reneus because of the demon activity there. I suggest we head more north. I think we should have to hit a little more left. And I look over, kind of making eyes with Bannon. If we head even more north, we might even stop by your family. Are you interested in that at all?
We could. I had been thinking that we would bypass that, but if you are all willing to stop, perhaps I should at least find out for sure. There won't be much time for reunions if this is indeed my uncle, but at least I'll be able to find out for sure if I have family left.
I see no reason why we shouldn't stop.
We'll need to rest the horses anyways.
That
And
is
it's a
true.
good chance for you to warn your family that there's demons, eating the world.
You didn't know you had family up here, though, did you?
No. I was given to the temple because it was thought that I was an orphan. At least that's what I was told.
I couldn't imagine suddenly finding out I had more family than what I thought I had lost. I wouldn't want you to miss that.
Embrace the night.
Then I guess we head there first.
It's on our path. So. Scram, how are you doing? And she kind of looks over at Scram in a very discerning kind of look.
Before we left town, Scram brought a small leather box that he wears on his hip now. It's got the book in. It's always latched shut. He sort of looks down, pats it. Yeah, I'm alright. Not hearing any voices. Got
Good.
no stamping kittens.
Good. Stumbling kittens.
Good at the moment.
Right.
Oh, just evilest thing that popped into my head.
All right then.
You alright? Seem tired recently.
Am I? I admit Frelia was more draining than I anticipated, but I'm actually doing quite a bit better than I thought I would be. I think after our meeting with Starborn, I don't know, I feel like I closed a chapter in my life that had been haunting me for a while. I'm excited optimistic to move forward. Which reminds me, and Annalise reaches into her small pouch that she carries on her side, and in her palm she has, she bought 5 platinum rings, and she kind of holds them up to the group. I got these as kind of a warding for our journey. They help me channel spells through them, and they're also a little bit embellished. Not greatly, but just what I could do in the time. Please. And I hold out the rings for everyone to grab. Kane's has a little sword kind kind of just like embellished in filigree, and Bannon has a pair of wings. Scram actually just has a flower, which I thought was cute. And I kind of look over at Sebastian and say, I don't actually have an embellishment for you, but I'm hoping we can learn more about each other on the journey.
Sebastian's gonna reply and say, well, it's good that we are on a journey. We will have enough time to get to know each other.
I handle the platinum rings and watch as people put them on. And I'll take them out of my
Bannon
inventory.
puts this on.
Great.
Kane puts his on and looks at it appreciatively.
Annalise kind of turns away, cheeks just slightly reddening, as they are wont to do when a prince looks at her.
Vannon
Just kinda
gives like
flips his
a
off.
quick glance to Kane and like gestures to Annalise.
Shall we be off then? We could probably get a few more hours in.
Embrace the night.
I do have to tell you all something. My father did not give me his blessing to journey with all of you,
Oh,
even though it was my mother's wishes. So, from here on out, don't think of me as your prince. I'm a simple swordsman, steward of sorts.
right. Of course, whatever you wish. Shall we continue?
I don't see why not.
So
Kane
as you
just nods.
So as you continue on your trek through the plains of Frelia, you head to the direction that Vannon you were given to what the... I forgot his name for a moment. Can't remember, but the person at the Mausoleum of the Sky King told you to where your uncle should be, at least where he believed he was. As you continue that travel, you guys get a good distance, figuring that between where he said it was and where you guys are stopping currently, that should be within the ballpark of 20 to 15 miles away, but currently you don't have sight on it. As you guys get to the point where you're still in the plains, but the sun's beginning to go down.
Should we make a camp?
Yes, we're getting close, but we may want to not show up at night. So let's camp here and search for the home in the morning.
Man, if you want to do a quick scout before the sun goes down, I can make you faster for a little bit. Not
Sure.
long, it's only a minute or two, but
Say it again, Vannon.
I said sure. You said Kane is wearing half plate, right?
Yep.
Kane, do you want to scout too?
Sure.
I was just curious.
Suppose
if
I
I'd
could be
able
of
to-
some use.
You can like lift her, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I can even carry Annalise now with her full plate on, but
I don't know.
Um,
So, Kane, Vannon begins to move over to you as he does a slight
Embrace
hover
the night.
that it looks like he's about to come and pick you up to take you flying with him.
Whoa, I thought we were just... I don't need to... You don't need to carry me. I'll just do a
Relax.
run of the
won't
perimeter
drop.
with my horse.
relax, I won't drop you. it's faster and more exhilarating to scout from the air.
I can make you go super fast as well.
I don't really. I'll just get on my horse. It's fine.
If you insist.
And Kane mounts Cloud. It kind of breathes a sigh of relief that he got out of that.
Venom just gives you your lost look and flies up.
Before you fly up, I'm gonna ride up near you and cast haste. Wasn't that fast for a minute?
It's gonna get exhaustion and fall out of the sky.
We're gonna sleep anyway, so.
Yeah.
Unless stuff happens.
Okay.
Alright, so now I'm very fast.
So,
But
as the
that
two of
moves
you...
movement.
It does. So, as the two of you begin to fly around, well, one of you fly around, the other one rides, you both can go ahead and make 2 perception checks.
So 18. Passive.
As you guys are looking around, much to what you could see, Vannon, there's not much happening around here. But Kane, as you're on horseback and closer to the ground, you do notice there's a scarring on the land that seems to be this large ovular mound of like dead grass. That seems to be the most peculiar thing happening around this area that you're about to camp in.
I'll call out to Vannon. Vannon, there's something you should see. And can I investigate it at all? Like,
I'll bank and hover near
Yes,
him.
you can.
all right. What do you think did this?
Embrace the night.
Possibly. Is it magic or?
Was it particularly hot today? Like, was it like really scorchingly hot, or?
Not hot for Frelia standards, no. Which is normally a very cold place.
My first thought was to assume something that had been set here in the sun for too long, but it wasn't a particularly warm day, so I'm not sure. How long did you say the ovular shape was?
It looks to be around 5 feet in length, and then in girth it spreads out around 12.
That's a big shape. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It's like a boat or something.
Yes, almost boat size.
Stuff.
But if it was a boat, it would not heat grass like this.
No, it's definitely not.
Perhaps we should get the others to look at it. Maybe there's something magical about the area that we can't detect.
Yes. Let's go fetch Annalise, I suppose.
Annalise has, during this time, has just been at camp, kind of setting things up and just kind of looking over like the tents and everything that she had kind of gotten ready for the day, for the night.
So for them returning, it's going to be about a couple of minutes after they found that and then making the decision to go there. So moving back at camp, Annalise, Scram, and Sebastian, you guys are left there to make the camp. Go ahead and start the RP over in this section as Kane and Vannon were doing their thing.
Very practiced with setting up camp and having to be the one to set up camp. Annalise sets up her own little area. She kind of looks over. She goes and starts setting up Kane's area too. Just because, gotta make sure that the prince has an area to sleep.
I'm not a prince.
Yes, you are.
As we're setting up, like Scram would spark a bonfire that would flicker magic, and turn to Sebastian and say, "Sebastian, where are you actually from? I know like Gardo, but where are you trained?"
Sebastian is, after setting up his bedroll, he's gonna turn to Scram and say, "Oh, I was not trained in a temple like everybody else. I confronted a man, a very important man in my life. He taught me everything he knew, and then from that on out, it's history."
Annalise, who is kind of listening in, kind of walks away from Prince as she's finished setting up. You once trained in a temple or a monastery. That's impressive that you're able to do the things you can without any sort of formal training.
Sebastian is gonna let out a little chuckle and say, "You need not always attend a temple to know how to be a decent person."
No, I can agree with that, but even to learn how to fight or to defend, that's hard to do on your own.
Well, as a young man, I had to learn this very quickly, but never mind me. Now tell me, why did you become one with the light?
That's not a pleasant story and not one fit for traveling. Scram, are you setting up a tent? I could give you a hand over there.
Oh no, it's all right. I've made this TP 1,000 times. It gets a big old pole and sticks it in the ground, sort of drapes a bed sheet over it.
Right, I'll get a supper going then. That'd be all right. She kind of awkwardly leaves the group conversation.
After setting up his own bedroll and helping out with
Embrace
setting up
the
camp,
night.
Sebastian's gonna try and find an isolated patch of grass and kneel there and start praying.
While he does that, I, after kind of like making my excuses to not be part of the conversation, I go back over to Scram. Are you sure you're right? Are you studying it? Are you reading it? What? I just don't want to leave it unchecked.
I think I'm alright. When the others are back, I'm gonna wander off a little bit and try it out, if you know what I mean, but...
Do you mind if I come with you when you do?
Knock,
Yeah,
knock.
sure.
Who's there?
Shooting at a tree for a little while.
The
but-
moon. It's far away. You
I
were
think
alone
more-
the whole time!
It's not telling me to do anything. It's not making me scared of my friends.
Please don't be offended when I ask you every day if you're all right and what's happening.
No, don't worry, it's reassuring. How's your book recently? Hasn't told you to
It's-
do anything evil.
No, not at all. It's been lovely. And she goes and she kind of pulls it out. She doesn't keep it in a box like yours. It's quite evident that she carries it. It's actually it's almost reassuring to have. I hope to be worthy of the gift that I've been given one day.
Oh, you already are. You saved our lives countless times.
You held up a tower.
And you-
Kane is
you held off
ruined
Nico.
running momentarily before he ran away.
I held up
And
a tower
got away.
momentarily before it fell on me.
In
Got
any
respect for
case.
yourself.
I have respect for certain things in my life, and it's quite alright where I am.
And almost as if being summoned, the galloping sound of Cain and the flapping wings of Vannon begin to echo in your guys' ears as you turn to see the two of them making their approach.
By the way, don't tell Kane, but his dad totally supports what he's doing. This is sort of like a rite of passage thing for him, I know, but his dad's like super cool with it. When I spoke to him, it's like keep an eye on him, make sure he doesn't die, all that stuff.
I knew it. The king always seemed like a good man. And then we turn and look at as the two people ride up. Are they riding with haste? Like, is it like a concerning thing?
It's up to you
Are
guys.
Yeah, I would say that.
Emily squares her shoulders and kind of looks at the approaching two. Is everything all right?
Embrace the night.
Vannon, Kane?
We have something
There-
for you to look at. Do you want to get on a horse or fly there?
I like flying, but I'm quite a bit heavier now. I'll take my horse. Scram, are you also coming?
This thing magic?
That's what we're curious about.
Yeah, might as well. Can't say for Sebastian. Do we bring him? Seems like
Sebastian, would you rather come with us or stay here and guard the camp? I call to the meditating Sebastian.
Sebastian is gonna finish his prayer with some sort of proverb and then turn around and say, which one is more of a pressing matter?
I look over at Kane and Vannon, because I don't know.
I guess it depends on what this strange mark in the ground is, but
A mark in the ground. Is it like the summoning circles we've seen before?
it looks like it's killed the grass under it, whatever it was.
Did we not come across something similar on our way up to Frelia? Did it look like those, is what I'm asking.
Not any sort of magic circle, per se.
Let's have a look. I get on my horse.
Before anything, do I see that we have any pretty valuable stuff on camp, or is it just like tents and bedrolls and stuff?
Does anybody have anything pretty valuable in the open to see?
Vannon doesn't
think
have
there's
anything
some horses.
valuable, so.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
the valuables are our horses and armor and weapons.
I mean, I'm carrying a bunch of diamonds because I'm a cleric, but that's on me.
I think seeing as Kane was in a pretty hurried state, I'm gonna hop on my horse and leave my wheelbarrow behind, since it is sort of a nuisance right now, and follow them.
So as you guys make the approach outwards to where this mark is, you two also see it. It's 5 feet in length, and in girth it's about 10. It's ovular, and underneath it the grass seems to be dead. Very much how I explained it, something that was very hot above it, but not setting it to a flame, but enough to be hot enough to kill it.
I use a little bit of druidcraft just on the edge of it, just to see if I can revitalize the grass at all, or to see if it's some sort of like lingering magic or like necrotic magic that's keeping it dead. So just do a little bit of.
As you do so, you watch as a small bud begins to burst free from the ground, and looks like the area isn't tainted. It's just the grass is dead.
It doesn't seem to be a lingering effect. Scram, would you like to look at it?
Yeah, I'll drop a detect magic on it. Scram walks up and pulls the quarterstaff off its back and clocks it on the ground. His eyes roll back. Boop.
As you try to sense any magical forces, your vision turns out dull, as you don't see anything from this area.
No, Lisa's right, there's nothing lingering here. Grass and magic.
I'm just gonna do a straight intelligence check to see if I know what the shape could have been. That should be straight intelligence or like a skill of some sort.
You can do just a straight intelligence, that's fine.
Okay. Great. It's a 7.
I would like to try an Arcana check.
You're pretty sure that it kind of looks boat shape, if anything.
Do sky ships exist in this world?
And fairy tales.
I mean, I'm traveling with a prince on a journey to collect magic books, so...
Anything is possible.
Believe! It's probably too small to be like a sky ship. Like, it looks almost like a rowboat kind of shape, right?
Right.
I don't know what to make of that.
For the 15 Arcana check, I'm thinking there's like any like magical spells or something like that I know of. Like what cause like a particularly shaped scar on the ground like this.
It could be possible if you're thinking really outside the box, like a powerful sorcerer altering like a cone of fire to make it into more of a ovular shape and just burn the crap out of one singular person for probably like 10 minutes to make this effect. But that's thinking really outside the box.
It could be done with magic if you kind of sort of shape the spell and
I'm gonna do a spiral, just walking around to see if this was maybe remnants of a really large bonfire or campfire, if there are like any other signs of what else was here in this spot.
You can roll investigation.
Okay. I miss Adriana.
Looking around, you don't particularly find anything important about the area around here until you hit something that seems to shimmer with the fading sunlight.
Like hit something? Like I walk into something?
You kick something and it goes into the grass in front of you.
I reach for it. Pick it up.
You pull out what looks like a singular silver like tube that seems to have black singes at the very top. As you investigate it, it has engravings on the back of it that seem to be like a smaller circle that looks to be struck by something that's almost pen-shaped. And the rest of it, you're just holding on to it. It's not larger than the size of your pinky. It's just odd.
Oh. Scram?
Yep.
I hold it up to see if he sees anything from it. Any sort of lingering residue.
I mean, spell lasts for 10 minutes.
Doesn't
Yeah,
look
pretty slow.
magic.
Are you
Hey,
holding it out
magic.
for everyone to see?
Oh yeah.
Okay, then I'd like to. Can I do like an intelligence or something check to see if it's like part of a weapon? Since I was a soldier, I might know.
I'd say for this it'd be another intelligence check.
Okay. Oh boy.
Does it look like actual silver, or is that just the color you're describing?
Just the color I'm describing.
Okay.
You've never seen anything like this, any weapons that you've encountered. At least. So, it's odd.
The markings are on the back, the engravings. Were those like arcane sigils? Or just like holes or circular?
They
I
seem
wanna
to
look at the
be...
engravings.
Yeah, it seems to be marked into the metal itself. It doesn't look arcane, but once again, you're looking at something you're not too sure what it is.
Can I read it? Like, is it like letters?
No.
Okay.
Does it smell burnt?
It smells awful.
Oh God. No.
Like sulfur?
I pass it. I pass it to
Like
Scram.
sulfur.
Scram
It
sniffs
smells
it.
demonic. That's what that smells like.
Do fireworks exist in this world? Do we know of them?
It was their 4th of July.
Say again, Fannin.
I said, do fireworks exist in this world? Do we know of them?
You know what? Yeah, they exist in Cursino.
Oh, and we're pretty close to Carosino.
Is this some sort of firework?
Is there like a festival day that we missed?
The next festival is within the next 11 days.
I've got an idea, but it might make it explode. Is it alright if I do it?
I take a couple steps back and kind of give like a.
Yeah. Kind of flick it towards the center of the scorched mark, and then I throw a ball of fire at it. Not an actual fireball, a little firebolt.
You guys hear the sound of a ding as you go back to check it. Yeah, now it's just dented a bit from the impact of the magic. It doesn't seem to have that same shine of reflecting from the sun any longer, since it's now covered in scorch marks.
Well, that did nothing. I'm out of ideas.
I'm not terribly concerned. It seems like it's simply an item. I don't sense anything evil from the area. I say we take the item with us. Perhaps we'll figure out what it is one day, but it strikes me as more of a curiosity than anything. It's late and we should rest. Shall we head back to camp?
Yes, that sounds like a good idea. I don't think there's anything else we can gather from this.
Wonderful.
So, as you all decide of burying this particular instance, you take one more last look over the area to hold it in your mind for memory as you all decide to head back to camp.
I make sure that I make sure someone grabs the little tube.
Yeah, I'll pick it up and
It's
clean it up with
tube.
prestidigitation.
Nice.
That's not bad.
Alright, are you guys doing any set rolls for sleep?
I'll take first watch. You all can sleep.
I'll take last watch. I prefer rising with the sun anyways. Or rising before.
I'm not fussed.
Then I'll take second.
Alright, so, as you all head to sleep,
Before I go to sleep, I'd like to wander off and go find a tree to shoot at.
find a rock.
I go with.
A rock will do.
All right. Let's see if these books are similar. And I take out my book.
Take out mine, flip for a couple of pages, and read off a page, aiming at the rock.
What does the page say?
I don't know.
Improv it. Do it. Come on. Hurry. Yeah.
It's the story of Aaron Anok, and it's on about like his time as a force of light and how he could shatter the world with his will, or something like that.
So as you get past the last passage, meanwhile, Annalise, as he's speaking, all you hear is just these harsh tones and
Do I recognize it as some sort of language? Like abyssal or anything?
you don't recognize it of any abyssal. Name off the languages you have.
I have Common. I have Rastine, which is, I'm assuming, the slang of my own country. Celestial and Beast Speak.
So
I did also teach you a few words in Giant back when we were.
Oh yeah, you were teaching me a few words in Giant. I'm not sure if they mean what I think they mean. He might have just taught me a bunch of dirty words, which would have been hilarious. But...
So you try to understand exactly what he's saying, but it doesn't seem to fit any dialect that you understand. As Scram, you fire out this invisible force that hits the rock. Go ahead and roll damage.
7 damage.
As he's speaking, you kind of just wait for something to happen as the rock in front of you just begins to crumble inwards and break into a smaller condensed force of itself.
All right, so perhaps the promises of power were true. That's good.
Seems so.
I'm sorry, I
Yours do
can't
something
help.
similar.
I don't mean I don't trust you. I just can't help but be nervous about this.
I can put it away if that helps.
It does, actually, quite a bit.
Yeah, put it back in the box, latch it.
Because we're here, because I have my book already, I read off a line or two from my own book. Celestial.
What does it say?
I knew you were going to ask that, and I still had nothing prepared. It's just a series of proverbs and small poems, telling about just like a journey that someone made to get into the light.
And as she speaks, her power and her words are soothing and calming to you, Scram, as she's saying them. It's almost like a gentle lullaby as it begins to resonate with energy, and the rock that was there just gets covered in radiant light until it sizzles into a fine dust.
Right.
Right. We'll practice
That's
with
really
these
cool.
yet. Yeah, yours is cool too.
If anyone needs any demolition done, I guess where the people's come to now. Turn a big old boulder into a pile of dust.
Yes, well, we should head back.
Yeah.
Take our watches.
So, as you guys begin to head back and everyone goes through their own personal watch, we're going to take this time to take our first break. So, once again, thank you guys for coming out and joining us on our first episode of D&D 5e X Fire Emblem, Heart of Ruin. We're going to be back in about 10 to 15 minutes, so take that time to use the restroom, go ahead and walk, get something to eat, and we're going to do the same. So, talk to you guys soon. Peace.
Embrace the night.
And before I